Hello guys, sorry, um, we had to kind of move it, and we're about to kind of come on now. How you guys doing? Welcome, welcome, welcome. I hope. So let me switch this off. Something playing in the background. Right. Sorry. Um, Literally, we had to move it to this hour. I hope you guys are good. Right. Hey, Mister. I'm Leonard. How you doing, bro? I hope you're blessed. Yeah. So, we're literally about to start now. So sorry, I know we're an hour late, but it happens when you got a hectic schedule. Um, we just had to. Awesome. Oh, Mr. J1, I see you. Awesome. I'm gonna bring him on now. I know we don't have that much time, so literally. So if you have your questions, please put it in the chat, so I can. So literally, I can ask some questions that you have. Okay, let me get him. Let me get him on, or you can request to kind of come on, J1, and yeah. So everybody, welcome. This is Spotlight Learn to Earn series with Mr. Josh J1. We're going to be talking a couple of things about streaming, about Pandora, and give you guys some insights on how to more effectively market your music on streaming services, and a couple of other things that hopefully you guys can take away with and get some great insights and knowledge about. I hope you guys can hear me okay. If you guys can hear me okay, give me a thumbs up. Literally. Right. So it should be logging on now. Hello, Mr. J1.
Looks like
Can you hear me?
I can hear you, but it looks like it's still connecting.
Yes, it's doing this.
There we go. Yeah,
Awesome. How are you doing, sir?
I'm good. How are
I know
you?
you. Not too bad, not too bad. The weather is a bit miserable here in the UK, but it is what it is. Awesome.
Man.
Thank you so very much for coming through. I know you are a busy man, so you guys, please thumbs up. Ping somebody into the room right now because I don't have that much time with Mr. J1. He's a busy man, as you can see. It's plaques, what's behind it. So I got to make the most of the time while you're here. So again, this is the Let's Win series with Steve Spotlight, and I'm here with Mr. George J1, director of HipHop at Pandora. So if you have any questions that you want to ask, put it in the question box real quick because I've got a bunch of questions I got to get through
Oh
for him.
man,
So I, I'm ready. I ain't got time, you know. Um, Thank you guys so much. So again, you guys give a thumbs up, give a thumbs up for Mr. J. Thank you so very much, sir, for taking the time out. I know how busy it is, and again, it's a midweek, so in between releases and everything else that's going on. Again, with the whole pandemic, there's a lot of work that we're all trying to catch up on. So I'm just gonna go straight in. So let's literally I'm still spotlight. So I do this series called Learn to Earn, where we try to give artists a lot of education and about the music industry and different ways to kind of really maximize and be educated about the industry, from social media to publishing to a whole range of different things. And I try to make it as actionable steps as possible so they can live away with something that they can go ahead and implement and get results from straight away. So I don't think I can do you justice. So who is Mr. J1, director of Pandora? Who are you? And how did you actually start in the music industry, actually?
Oh well, I started out as a DJ actually, and was blessed enough to be here in Atlanta. I was a club DJ, and I was doing a bunch of clubs at the time. And I got the opportunity to be on local radio, and then I spent
Oh,
about 12 years in radio, worked my way up through the ranks, became a program director. And first, I started out in Indianapolis. I moved there, and then I went to Washington, D.C., and then Pandora recruited me to be their head of hip hop in 2019. I got promoted
awesome.
to director last year, so here I am.
Hey, you've been around. You've been sowing them seeds. Awesome.
Yeah,
And I read about you, and from what I heard, you actually started DJ when you were 14 years old.
yeah. About 14, 15, yep.
Awesome. So how would you say being a DJ kind of prepared you for your role as director of hip hop at Pandora?
Oh, it definitely played a big role because being a DJ, I had to understand music, how music flowed together. DJs are basically curators for parties and events, and
Yeah, true.
that's all a playlist is. At the end of the day, it's you putting songs
Mm,
together in a particular sequence that you think people would like, and that's essentially what a DJ does. So little did I know when I was DJing, it was actually preparing me for the role that I currently have. And it also helped prepare me to really understand and know the music. It's one thing to look at it on your computer or look at data or analytics, but to actually know it and know the history of it and know some of the origins of it, it is a completely different.
Yeah, awesome. I think being a DJ as well is one thing, again, being a curator, but understanding what moves the audiences, what moves the crowd, what moves people in the clubs, for example.
Yeah.
And I mean, it gives you that extra insight. So definitely helps you. I think I'll call you like a purist when it comes to music, because it has to move you in a way. It has to invoke some kind of emotion in you, right?
Yeah.
Before you actually like, oh, no, I like that record, because you're always thinking of it from a DJ perspective. Well, how would this, when we hear this in the club, how would this sound? If they hear on radio, what would they think about that? You know, so how long have you been in Atlanta? Funny enough, Atlanta is actually my second home, because I actually have family that live out in ATL, in Austell.
What part?
Austell.
Austell? Okay. They out west.
Exactly, yeah. I'm in Atlanta twice a year, at least, kind of working and stay out with family. So funny enough, maybe when I'm in ATL in December, we might kind of cross paths. Awesome. So let me go straight into it. So what are the 5 things you want people to know about Pandora, the platform? Because again, I think Pandora as a platform is one that's been highly ignored by a lot of people.
Yeah.
Reasons I don't know why, but it's still one of the major streaming platforms. You know, so what are like 5 things you would think you want anyone that's watching right now to really know about the platform?
Sure. I mean, you hit it on the head. It's kind of been like ignored within recent years, and that's just because there's competition. Pandora was one of the first original streaming platforms to stream music, but currently, right now, it's only in the U.S. and we're actually acquired by SiriusXM 2 years ago, so it's SiriusXM Pandora now. But we're still one of the top 5 streaming platforms in the whole entire world, even with us just being in the U.S. So it's a very important platform. It's a very powerful platform as far as getting the music out there, music discovery, and just music longevity. If you get a hit that spins on Pandora, it can damn near play for 10, 20 years or however long people are using the platform, because it's exactly. So it can really help your revenue in the long run. So those are the main things that I would think that are beneficial to that people should know about Pandora. The other thing is that we actually have an on-demand service. A lot of people don't know that. And you can actually listen to playlists and albums in a particular song. Before, it used to be you had to go to like a radio station and that was it. But we do have like the same services that a Spotify and an Apple does. And also we have free artist tools that labels, managers, or artists can use to either promote their music or do a drop in front of their songs or promote like anything that they have going on. And these are free tools, and they can get that at ampplaybook.com, and that's amplaybook.com. Yep.
Okay. Ampplaybook.com. I was actually about to ask about that, but you know that you went into that. So literally, these are the back end tools, just be similar to Spotify for artists, similar to Backstages for Deezer, where artists can kind of go in from the back end and really maximize a lot of great tools. What would you say is the top 2 tools when people go into the back end that they can utilize in really kind of promoting and marketing themselves on the platform?
Sure. So when they go in there, they go into AMP, some of the features that it has is they can actually amplify a song. So let's say you came out with a new single, it's less than a year old, and you say, okay, well, I don't really know any of the curators and I'm just getting started. You can actually increase the amount of streams that song will get, so it will reach more people. And essentially, but they'll find the right people. They'll find listeners who have liked your type of music before. So it's not going to be sent to random people. Yeah, so it's a great way to discover an audience and gain new listeners and stuff. And again, that's a free tool. The other thing that you can do with the artist tools is, again, like not just put that song out there, but you can do an audio drop to introduce the song. So the audio drop will play before the song comes on. So especially being a new artist or even established artist, because anytime a new song comes out, it's unfamiliar to most of the masses. And even though people say they want to hear new music, a lot of the times their listening habits tell them different. Like, I always use this example. If you're in a club or something like that, and the club is jumping, the DJ is playing hit after hit after hit, and people are singing it word for word, the one time that the DJ might play something new or unfamiliar, what usually happens with the party? The energy goes down, people sit down, people stop dancing, it kind of just like dies out until they play that song. But that's how most listeners are conditioned to listen. They want to hear stuff that sounds good, that's familiar, that they can sing and stuff. So these tools are just meant to help people discover your music and also help them get familiar quicker with your song.
Awesome. And I think that being able to kind of introduce the song yourself as an artist makes a deeper level of connection, because you're the one introducing the song to an audience, telling them, listen, this is ZZ, just put out a new song, go listen to it now. It just creates a different level of connection, with your audience. I think that is awesome. When it comes to the back end too, for example, is it just artists that are in the States that can have access to it, or depending on where you are, you can, how is that possible? How does that work?
So as long as your music is on the platform, you can access it worldwide. But we only service the United States, and the reason why we're only in the U.S. right now is because of the licensing agreement stuff. It's expensive to get license agreements with each label in different countries, because different countries have different licensing agreements and everything like that. So it's not like, okay, I can go over to Europe and get all of Europe. We would have to do a licensing agreement with the UK, and then one with France, and then one with Germany. The thing that Spotify had, they actually started over in Europe, so it was easier for them to get those licensing agreements over there. Apple is Apple; they have $1 gazillion, so it wasn't nothing for them. But with Pandora, it's something that we've thought about, but we don't know if it's actually going to happen. So right now, we're just in the U.S.
Yeah. But I mean, you've made a very valid point. So regardless if it's not available in a country like Nigeria, Ghana, or even like in the UK, but as an artist, as long as your song is on that platform, you can still utilize the tools from the back end to get, either to kind of assist you in marketing and promoting your music. So you guys, you've heard it. What is the site again, just so that people know what it is? AMP
Playbook. AMPplaybook.com. And
there you go.
Everything you need to know about Pandora.
Hey, you have no excuses now.
No
thank you so very much for that. I heard you had a talk where you said Pandora actually pays artists in 2 different ways, which I think is very unique.
Yeah.
Again, artists always want to know where the money is. So could you break it down? What are those 2 different ways artists can get paid on Pandora, and why they need to take it seriously?
Yeah, absolutely. So there are 2 different types of streams. There are interactive streams and non-interactive streams. An interactive stream is considered like an on-demand stream. That's when you go to a particular playlist, you can see the song sequence, you can hit on a particular song or go to a particular album. That's your on-demand stream. That's what most streaming platforms are known for, whether it's Pandora, Spotify, Apple, whoever. Non-interactive streams are like the digital radio stream. So if you're on Pandora and you go to Drake Radio, you can't really control the sequence of music. You can't see what's coming up next. So that's called non-interactive, because it's a more laid-back experience. Now, you get paid off of those as well. You get paid less than you do on your on-demand streams, but you still get paid. The spot that you need to go to get paid for those non-interactive streams is called Sound Exchange. And what Sound Exchange does is it's going to pay you as the performer of that record, regardless of what your deal is with your label, your management, or whatever. You could have signed the worst deal in the world, but by law, you're entitled to, I believe, 40% of the non-interactive streams from that song. So it's helped out a lot of artists, especially a lot of legacy artists who, one,
Yeah.
might not have had a big hit recently, or two, maybe they signed their publishing away, signed a bad deal. They're still going to get
Yeah.
that check regardless.
Yeah, listen, I think if for just that reason alone, you guys need to take Pandora seriously.
Yeah.
For that reason alone. Thank you so very much for that. Again, I have spoken about Sound Exchange in the past. Being able to collect your non-digital interactive streams
Yeah.
is extremely important. Again, you guys have heard it from the man himself. Thank you so very much for that. Another thing, we hear every single time the amount of tracks that are released per day.
Mhm.
What advice would you give an artist on how they can stand out among the thousands of songs that get released literally on every single streaming platform? What would your own advice be on, you know what, do these three things and hopefully that should help you stand out among the sea or avalanche of songs that literally get put up?
That is a great question. So there's a few things that you can do. One, you gotta promote yourself. You can't rely on the curators or think that somebody playlisting your song is going to be your solution, because again, like you said, there are thousands of songs that get ingested into every streaming platform at any given week. So invest in digital marketing, and if you don't know too much about digital marketing, get a good digital marketing person, someone who knows how to run Facebook and YouTube campaigns and stuff like that. Look into influencer marketing, messing with the TikTokers, the YouTubers, people who are big on social media, because they're the ones that are creating these challenges, and they're the ones that are helping a lot of songs that go viral. Songs, most times, a song just don't go viral organically. There's usually some sort of machine or marketing plan behind that makes it go viral and gets that type of result. It's very rare where it's just pure organic and the song is out of here. So I would say invest in that. Also, do your research on the different tools that we talked about that each streaming platform has. Take advantage of those. So you basically want to build up your own numbers and put yourself in a position where when your song comes out or it drops, I'm looking for your song instead of you trying to pitch your song to me. Because again, we have thousands of songs to go through, so we can only pick a select few. So I'm going through, I'm listening to it, but I also want to know, okay, what's the story behind it? What are they doing? Who else is playing it? Where are they building it up at? I tell a lot of artists, maybe you don't want to start on some of the major streaming platforms. Talking about Pandora, Apple, or Spotify. You might want to start off on a SoundCloud and build up your audience and find out who your audience is, because SoundCloud is the streaming platform where most people go to, especially younger listeners, go to for music discovery. And there's nothing wrong with that. They go, people are like, I don't want to be a SoundCloud rapper. Yes, you do, because there have been a lot of great SoundCloud rappers who have blown up. So don't knock SoundCloud. It serves its purpose.
Yeah.
So that would be my advice.
Yeah, no, thank you so very much for that. I think you've hit on a very important note. Being able to, again, I think you as a streaming platform, how often does the virality of a track, like on TikTok or on Thriller, influence how much you guys also, I guess, also support a song as well? Because again, you want what listeners are already in tune to and what they're excited about. So do you guys kind of look back at songs that are going viral on TikTok or Thriller and think, you know what, this is something that we need to kind of push, because if that audience likes it, then possibly if we put it on the front page of our own site, our audience is also going to like it. So how much is that, those kind of platforms influence the kind of support and the extra push that gets you have to pick up on certain tracks that maybe you never even knew even existed before?
Yeah, no, absolutely. They play a big influence, not only as far as what the curators are looking at across all DSPs, but a lot of artists are getting signed off of their numbers or their impressions on TikTok and Thriller and stuff. And that's why I was talking about how important influencer campaigns or influencer marketing is. Because again, if you just think that you're going to upload your song to TikTok and I'm just going to wait and see what happens, 9 out of 10 times, or I can say 99 out of 100 times, nothing is going to happen unless you take the steps to actually make something happen. So that's why I say, like, really look into influencer campaigns, because again, a song can go viral on TikTok before it even drops.
Yeah.
I think prime example, that's what happened with Big Perk, Coy Leray. That song was already going viral. That song was already trending on TikTok. And once it dropped, it was easy. Everybody played it. The most recent example was Twerkulated by City Girls. That song, it went viral. It was trending on TikTok for a long time. But because they didn't have the clearance for it at first, they didn't drop it. But when they finally did drop it, you know, it's a cakewalk. People are familiar with it. People are, you know, and it's getting playlisted and getting placements on different platforms.
Yeah, and I think what you mentioned is extremely important. I'm sure because it went viral, it was even easier for them to get clearance on it because of the virality of it. You know, so listen, it's trending. What do you guys want to do?
That could go both ways. Yeah, they might be able to get clearance, but because it goes viral, the person that they're trying to get it cleared from, they might say, "Oh, y'all are going viral. I need some more of that money. Then we need to reevaluate this deal." So it's a double-edged sword. I tell people, try to get the paperwork worked out before you even put the record out, because if it does blow up, then they can sit back and be like, "Well, I need about 80% of that record."
Yep, facts.
And you'll be stuck.
True. Oh, in a way. So how would that work, for example? So how would you put out the song and get it to go viral on TikTok or Thriller if you actually haven't officially put it out yet?
I mean, basically, it's just getting it to the influencers, because you're only playing
something.
Yeah, you're only playing like a 15-second clip, so that's really all it is. Or the artists themselves might post a clip of it, and their audience picks it up, and it's like, "Yo, when y'all gonna drop that?" That's what happened with what's his name, Black, with Calling My Phone. He played a clip, and fans were going crazy, and he was like, "Yo, I got to put out the whole song now."
Yep. No, I think what you said is extremely valid, because there's an artist in the UK, I'm sure you know them, when they did the Don't Rush Challenge. That song came out the year before, like at the beginning of the year.
Right.
A year later, the song that nobody knew all of a sudden just took off, you know, on TikTok, and all of a sudden they got all kind of deals from that. Quick one, everybody was asking this question. It's a question that I'm telling you get asked all the time. How much is a million streams on Pandora? How much is a million streams on Pandora? Like on average?
I don't have the exact number, but it's anywhere between $2,500 to $5,000.
25. Wow.
Yeah, don't quote me on that though. And again, it depends on if they're non-interactive or interactive.
Yeah, awesome. Okay, so you guys heard it. They always, but again, don't quote them on it. It always kind of depends.
Just kind of gauge it by that window.
Yeah, awesome. Quick one. What are the 3 things that you would tell artists to do pre-release of their song and post-release? So if you say, you know, if you don't do anything, these 3 things, make sure you get it done before you release your song and post-release of the song.
Have a plan.
No, essential. Number 1. Have a plan.
Have a budget.
Even if it's $10 or $100.
Right.
Have some kind of a budget. Yep.
And have a good relationship with your distribution company.
You know what? Speak on that a little bit more, because I think a lot of people underestimate that because they have a distro that they just give their music to, they put it out there, all of a sudden the distro is going to do all the work for them, and they get upset. Why? Oh, but I gave you, why isn't my stuff everywhere? Why isn't it popping up? Then why did I give it to you? I could have done it myself, and blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
So why do you think that relationship is extremely important to nurture, as well as really have it, you know, tight?
Yeah. A distribution company is basically going to do what it says it's going to do. It's going to distribute your music. Unless you have a deal set up that says they're going to put X amount of marketing dollars in there, or they're going to pitch it to the different DSPs, they're not obligated to do anything outside of distributing your music. So you want to, 1, do your research on the different distribution companies. see how much they cost, see what type of relationships that they have with the streaming platforms, see what resources they have, look at their roster of artists. What other artists have they broken? What other artists have they like taken to the next level? All those things are important. Now, if you're just starting out, a distro kid might be your best option because you pay the flat fee, you get your stuff going. But as you continue to grow, you might want to start looking around and saying, okay, this distribution company, yeah, they might be taking a little bit more of a bigger percentage of my streaming revenue, but they're also giving me $5,000 for a marketing budget to shoot a video or something like that.
Awesome. No, you guys heard it. Make sure your relationships are extremely important and they are locked in. And whatever they say they're going to do, that's what they're going to do.
Yeah.
You know, don't expect, you know, kind of heaven when you are not paying to play, literally. You mentioned this in another video that I showed that I thought was interesting.
Okay.
That for artists, they should drop their songs not on a Friday, but on a different day.
Yeah.
We've always had the perception that, oh, dropping the Friday is the best day to kind of drop in material because you can get on, you know, New Music Friday and so on and so forth. What is your perspective about that, and why do you think another day might be a better option?
I think if you're an established artist and you have a marketing plan and you've been doing it for a little while, people know who you are, there's nothing wrong with dropping on a Friday. But if you're an artist that's really trying to get people's attention, you're up and coming, do you really want to compete with a J. Cole, a Megan Thee Stallion, a Cardi B, a Lil Baby, because they're all dropping on Friday? So I advise artists, one, just because you're dropping a song, let's say you're dropping a song on July the 5th, that doesn't mean you need to upload your song on July the 4th. Your song probably needs to be uploaded in the system 2 to 3 weeks before that.
At least. You cut out. I think you have a call coming in.
I got a phone call. Sorry about that. I said, yeah, and the reason why you want to do that, one, is you want to give the curators a chance to listen to your music. If your song is, if your song is pretty much dropping the day before Friday, or I don't have access to it until Friday at midnight, unless you're like a megastar artist, chances are I'm not going to listen to your song until next week. We listen to most of our music in advance to the releases. And then by the time Friday at midnight hits, we've already programmed all our playlists. Again, unless it's like somebody like a Drake who might drop something exactly at midnight, then we'll stay up and listen to it and program it that very night. But most of the music and the playlisting, by the time Friday comes around, we pretty much got everything set. So again, you want to make sure your stuff is in the system so the curators can hear it, and you want to make sure it's in there and it's playing correctly, because sometimes it's technology. You have errors and stuff. Stuff doesn't go through all the time, or the incorrect version might be up. All types of stuff happens. And if you're waiting to the last minute to upload it and something happens, or a song needs to be looked at or analyzed, whatever the system you're uploading it to, it's not going to have that opportunity. So again, you want to have your stuff uploaded in their system at least 2 to 3 weeks prior to your scheduled release.
Okay, exactly. Thank you so very much for that. Again, the more time they give you, the more time you guys have to kind of listen to the song, program it, and different curators can hear whatever the sound is and see where it matches up to.
Yeah.
Thank you very much for that.
I mean, even the megastar artists now are learning better. Like the days of people dropping surprise albums, they're not surprises anymore. They don't do that anymore. They give teases. They make sure their stuff is uploaded to the DSPs. Even the big artists like a J. Cole or a Drake, they might not give it to us weeks in advance, but they'll at least give us like 12 to 24 hours before the actual album drops to give us a chance to listen and playlist it, because again, they're smart. They know it affects their revenue streams and stuff.
Yeah, and the numbers. No, I think again, because Beyonce has done it before, everybody thinks, oh, if she's done it, I could do it. I could surprise my fans and
Yeah,
it could
yeah,
be
yeah.
everywhere. No,
No. You're not there
fans
yet.
don't
I
like
think
surprises.
you need to plan.
Fans
Everything
don't-
needs to be strategic and planned out when you're just starting out.
Yeah, thank you so very much for that. So you guys give yourself enough time. Also, again, because I'm Nigerian, I'm from the Afrobeat kind of community. What three, what five artists from Africa, either or Nigeria, rappers or singers, kind of excite you and on your playlist? Your playlist that you're like, 'cause I saw the video you did with the video. So what tracks are like, you know what, these are cats that I'm kind of feeling right now.
I mean, my main forte, like I love Afro beats.
Okay.
I love Caribbean music. I love reggae, but my heart and my passion is definitely hip hop and R&B. That's what I'm always gonna listen to first. But I mean, I love Davido. Of course.
Give me two more.
I don't know if I can give you that, baby. I mean, I think Wizkid is dope. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
And even though he might not technically was born there, but he got roots
Yeah.
there, and he always represents Rotimi. I like Rotimi a
Yeah.
lot. I think,
Yeah, it was a big one.
yeah, I think he's doing a great job representing the culture, but doing a balance of like the music over here and staying true to his roots. And he's just a cool, talented guy.
No, he is. He is. I'm funny enough, that goes to my next question, actually. What Afrobeat artist would you like to see with a hip hop US artist that you think that collaboration could be fire?
I don't know.
That could be something.
It seems like everybody's been collaborating lately. I think when Drake really started, bridging that gap, that's when you saw more of it. And then with Davido, him spending so much time in Atlanta and making those connections, that's when you really saw like all these collaborations and stuff. So I don't really have a dream collab. I think it's just happening organically and naturally.
Awesome.
I think they'll continue to do that. I know I got to jump soon, so we're probably gonna have to get to your last question, bro.
Yes, no problem. I know you got to go. Okay. So, what advice would you? I'll put two questions. What three? If whoever is listening to this, if there's one thing they can take away from this, if they haven't heard anything that you've said, but one thing they need to keep on doing as an artist, trying to break into the industry, what would that be? And what also is the biggest mistake that you've made that you've learned from, and you think other people can also learn from the same?
So I'm a spiritual man. I'm gonna always tell people you gotta keep God first in your life and put your faith in God and not people. Because people will always let you down, but God will never let you down. Have a plan. Because if you don't have a plan, nothing's really gonna happen. And also be willing to adjust that plan. Don't be so stuck to that plan that you're not adaptable, you're not able to pivot. So I would say those things and really have a good team around you. Have good people around you that can supplement areas that you might not be strong in. So if you're a very creative person, which most artists are, you probably don't need to be handling your bookings or your paperwork and all that kind of stuff. So whoever your manager is or your partner is, they don't need to be like you. They don't need to be a creative person. They need to be more of a right brain person and more analytical and more organized so you can focus on the music. So I would say those things are really what any artist needs to do, no matter if you're just starting out or if you're established. I mean, you saw, I don't know if you saw the Billboard Awards this past weekend, but Drake, when he accepted that award, he had his whole team up there. He had his circle around there. And he said, like, it's because of them that he's in the position that he is in now. I mean, as great as Drake is, he realizes that he's only one person. He has his limitations. So he needs a strong team around him that can handle all the other stuff so he can just be Drake.
Yeah. So your biggest mistake, last one, be your biggest mistake that you've learned from, and like, if you could, what would that be?
Oh man, I've made plenty of mistakes.
Okay, which one has given you the best? Like, you know what? I made that mistake, and that totally changed how you looked at life or how you looked at your career moving forward.
I have to go back to something one of my mentors taught me that I started implementing. He always said, you know, especially as a leader or a manager, ask the question first instead of accusing somebody or saying you did X, Y, and Z. So
Assumption, don't
like
become an assumption.
even if you know, so say like one of my employees was late, don't be like, hey, you were late. Be like, hey, did you come in late today? Or, you know, did you clock in late? And give them the opportunity to respond instead of saying, yo, you were late. Because sometimes you don't know. You might have been looking at your own watch wrong. Or you might have had the wrong information or seen something wrong. And I've been guilty of that before. Instead of asking the question why, I would sometimes like just go right in and just go off of my initial reaction. So that's one thing I've had to like that I learned a lot from as well. And then another thing is something that King Carter taught me. He actually co-manages the baby. He said, never let a win go to your heart, and never let never let a win go to your head, and never let a loss go to your heart. So basically to remain even keeled no matter what you're going through. And I've had to learn from that, because sometimes if I messed up, I would be low. You know, I'd be like, oh man, I'm a failure. I messed up. I might not be cut out for this. And then sometimes, like when I got a win and people are saying, "Yo, you the man," and all that stuff, like you get a high off of it. You're like, "Damn, this is dope." But as quickly as people love you, they can turn on you that just as fast. As many people are loving you, if you're not in a position to help them out, those phone calls stop. So I've learned also that no matter what, like whether I'm in the valley or I'm at the top of the mountain, to remain the same, to stay humble, to stay true to my God, and just to be very respectful to people no matter what level they're at.
Yeah. Thank you so very much. I know you gotta go. Listen, I can't tell you how grateful I am. I have an Afrobeat drill track I'm gonna send you.
Okay.
That is fire. It's kind of a UK drill and an Afrobeat put together. You know what I mean? So it's with one of Africa's dopest rappers. But thank you so very much for your time. So you guys make sure you follow Mr. George J1. Give him a lot of thumbs up. He has to go, and I kind of held him on his break, so he has to dash.
It's all good, bro. I appreciate you. I appreciate you having me on your platform, man, and keep doing what you're doing. Shout to the UK, man. Once everything is like completely safe, I gotta get over there. I'm gonna hit you up.
Yeah,
I need to come to the UK and experience y'all energy.
No, it's on a different level. We got you. When you're ready, come through. You know, I appreciate you.
I know the COVID restrictions are real tight over there, so I'm gonna wait.
No problem at all. You have an awesome day, and after a blessed one, and hopefully we'll see you in the UK and we'll see you in Nigeria sometime.
Yeah.
Hopefully Pandora will open an office
I'm going international when it's like when we can really fly. I'm going international. I had trips lined up in 2020. They got canceled. But I'm in the UK, I'm in Nigeria, I'm going to South Africa, I'm going to all these places.
No problem. No, I'm gonna let them know that you're on your way.
Yeah,
so they can lay out the rest of the
I'm gonna DM you. So you got to tell me where to go and where to stay away from. Cause I'll need to be jacked nowhere.
We got you on that. Say no more, sir. Listen,
be safe.
Have an awesome one now.
Later.
Yes, sir. There you go. Bye now. So you guys, thank you so very much. He had to dash. I know it was a quick one. I think this is actually one of the shortest sessions I've had, but he took his time out. As you can see, he's a busy man. So I hope that was extremely helpful to a lot of artists, a lot of creatives. But again, just like Spotify, just like Deezer, just like Apple, there are a lot of tools that artists, you guys can use from the back end to kind of really help promote and kind of push the music. So it was an honor kind of having him. So that was Josh. That was director of HipHop at PANDORA. Giving us got a lot of great tips and advice, some things that we've said here on this platform before, a couple of times on how you can make sure you're able to maximize your attention and your awareness on streaming platforms. And he also told you how much a million stream actually gets you. So again, it wasn't, don't quote him on it, but it gave us some kind of a gauge what that is. So the main thing again is consistency beats perfection all day, every day. So It's been a pleasure. Seeing you guys. I see you guys, Tara. I see you. Lipsy Baby, Kevin, Patricia, Truma Mills. Thank you guys for coming through. Any other questions that you guys have, make sure you follow Josh D1, J1 actually, the head of Pandora, and make sure you utilize Pandora's backend system to promote and kind of really push your music. Because I think that is an untapped resource for that platform. Because again, although it's only in America, but everyone tries to break into that territory. So America is one of the biggest music territory there is. So if you're able to kind of find your way into that market, then you can be, making money from now for the next 12 years. So literally, let me see if I can bring on somebody real quick, Lipsy, to have a quick discussion with Lipsy in regards to what he thought about the session and what he kind of took away from it. So I'm also going to bring up Mr. Elflex as well to kind of join me. Elflex, kind of come on. I'd love to know what your thoughts were about the session and what you thought about what Mr. George J1 said. What's up, Lipsy baby? What's going on?
I'm good. Shout out to you. Don't mind me, man. I'm still in recovery. I look like somebody that just come out the game. Look at me.
How you doing, man? How you feeling? No, but you see, this is why Lipsy is the kind of artist that I like. Although he just had an operation, he's still, recouping, but he wanted to learn and he logged in. I mean, he tuned in because he just released a single before he actually went into his operation. And he's trying to get as much gems, as much content so that he can utilize it. And Lipsy is one of those artists that is always questionable. So, I mean, what did you think of the session? And was there any information that you were like, wow, I never even realized that could have be an opportunity that I've missed? I've kind of missed because, again, we always say, what you don't know, you don't know.
Exactly. Exactly.
We've always just focused on Spotify. We've always just focused on Apple. We always just focused on maybe Audio Mac. But Pandora was actually one of the first streaming platforms, but a lot of people ignored the platform altogether.
True.
So anything came to mind that you're thinking, you know what, I'm not going to do that anymore. That is something I definitely need to zone in.
You see, with me, I'm always, inquisitive. I like to study. I like to learn, read stuff. And when he talked about putting your music out there weeks earlier, like me, when I dropped my EP, I uploaded my EP actually 7 weeks earlier to get it out. So for me, that it just shows that those things are really important. And the AMP playbook that he mentioned as well, which is a back-end tool. I've known Pandora for a time, but I didn't know like Pandora had all these services and the interactive stream.
You know what that is? Because Pandora is only available in the States, they never thought that the tools to be able to, as an artist, to be able to kind of really utilize it was opened up to you. Because when you go into Pandora.com, for example, if you're in the UK like I am, it will just tell you it's not available in your territory.
Yeah.
But that doesn't mean that you don't have audiences in America that could actually be exposed to your music in itself. So now, after that, in a way, that's also what I thought. I'm like, okay, don't open up to other territories, but how can you still utilize the platform to really market and kind of grow your brand and your music?
Yes. And with those back-end tools, they're very important. And if you can use that to leverage your music with Pandora, obviously, like you said as well, America is one of the biggest territories that everybody's trying to break into. And if you're able to get into that territory, like just look at Joanna Drogba from what's it called?
From Afrobeat.
Yeah, Afrobeat. Like that's been going on for years because he was able to break into the market. So the American market is really important, and if we can utilize Pandora's back-end tools to kind of like push our music into that market, I'm all for it. I've actually written it down, and I'm like, I know what I'm doing tonight.
And the fact that you were here and you have that information, because so imagine this, a lot of artists in our industry in the UK or out of America are not utilizing that tool. So you as an artist now, if you go ahead and use it as an Afrobeat artist or as a grime artist or whatever other genres of music, if you decide to now use it, you are going to stand out because a lot of people are ignoring it. So the fact that you are now going to tap into it, you have a super advantage based on you being able to kind of really plug into the system.
exactly. That's so true. That's so. I agree with that, boss. I agree with that. And one thing I also picked from him as well, he's very knowledgeable. I have to say
No,
that
yeah,
the guy
he's
is
been at
very
hip hop
knowledgeable.
for 14. I mean, his head is literally head of hip hop at Pandora. That is the director of hip hop at
And
Pandora.
that's not an easy position to fill in.
What?
That's not an easy position to fill in. So, and I really connected with what he said regarding don't assume.
Yeah,
I
never.
remember that word. Don't let the win get to your head, and don't let the loss get to your heart. That's a
Yeah,
saying I probably won't forget. That because
yeah.
there's some certain
Put it on your
sayings
wall.
I take it and I put it at the back of my head, and it doesn't leave there. You
Yeah,
know, so that's a saying I'll definitely hack into, and I really enjoyed it. Like you said, it was quick, but as
yeah,
much as it was quick, it was also informative,
yeah.
and
Exactly. No,
it was good information. It was good information, and there's always something to take away from that. Sometimes long conversations are very long-winded, and they produce
exactly. So I wanted
nothing.
to make sure, you
Yeah.
know, most of the conversations we have on here are very like an hour and a half, 2 hours.
Mm-hmm.
But literally, I got him on his lunch break. I literally had to get him on his lunch break. Again, as a director of any kind of streaming platform, you can imagine how busy he was. I was actually honored that we got a chance to really have him on the platform for him to actually be able to speak. And Michelle real said, facts, I'm loving. Yeah, that saying is an awesome saying. Never let the loss get to your heart and
Yeah.
never let the wind get to your head, because you
Exactly.
always going to get losses, but you also always going to get wins. Never let one or the other get the best of you or make you
Yeah.
think, oh, you know what, I'm not supposed to be doing
Yeah.
this, or I'm too great now. I
Yeah.
don't, you know, you think you're now the hot pockets or whatever it
I
is.
agree. I agree, boss.
You
I
can never let
agree.
it happen.
Thank you very
Yeah,
much
so
as well. Like this, you know, this program you're doing as well, lend to end is very important. I know you drop gems all the time. Trust me. I always look at your gems. I
yeah.
always
On,
look at
on
your
Saturday,
gems.
on Saturday, I actually have a session coming on Saturday.
Mm,
I won't put up that flyer yet, but I'm going to put it up today. It's with a lady that's a Grammy nominated. She's a music publisher, a Grammy nominated songwriter, singer. She's written for Whitney Houston, written for like a couple of big artists. So if you're into publishing, you want to know where your money is going to, how to
trust
get
me.
into sync deals,
Trust me.
how to kind of get someone to TV, movie. You don't want to miss the session that I'm going to be having on Saturday.
That's a question
I'm
I've
going
been asking lately. Publishing.
no, listen. So what you want to do, you know what? You send me all the questions that you have ahead of time, and
Okay.
I will use your question as part of the question answering session. And it could be a bit longer than this. It could be at least an hour.
Yeah.
So let me know what you guys literally want me to ask her when she comes on Saturday. So come back in the next 30 minutes and check my phone. You'll see who I'm going to put up. And when I put her up, it's going to be somebody you're going to be like, oh, I'm not definitely missing that. You know what I
As
mean?
long as it's publishing involved, I've got some questions I'm gonna send you.
Say no
I've
more.
got
Say no
some
more.
questions. Yes,
Awesome.
thank you very much, boss. Thank you
Awesome. All
again.
right, then.
Shout out
Yeah,
Makanaki,
get them to
the
okay?
mix.
And you guys make sure you go check out Nipsey. He has a new body of work out. Talented artist, puts in the work. Go support him.
Guys,
And I mean,
please
go
do.
straight at song. Send him a message. Let him know what songs you like the best out of this whole EP. Let him know how much you think of the album cover. Just engage and interact. Because again, what we try to have here is a community of creatives as well as supporters and lovers of good music and artists that are hardworking. You
Yes.
understand? So go support my guy, and I appreciate you, guy.
Thank
Get
you,
better
boss.
soon, and I'll hit you up later. Okay?
And shout out to your man as well, Zizi, man. I listened to that track.
We'll put it in work.
That's a good track with Vector. I love that track. I saved it on my list. That's a good track,
Yeah.
man. I love it.
So
Who
let them
them
know
be?
who that be. So that's what that song is about. There's a song one of our artists just put out. It's called Who Them Be. What that song is about is literally saying, who are those people that tell you you can't be who you need to be,
Yeah.
or you can't be the best that you need to be? Who are those people that are telling you you're not going to blow,
Who
or
them
you're
be?
not going to be successful, or you don't have enough money, or like literally they're always kind of questioning and wanting you to prove to them why you need to be in a position of blessing or in a position of abundance. It's not for
Exactly.
somebody to ask you that question. You understand? They're not supporting you. They're not showing you no love. They're not giving you no nuggets. All they do is criticize and overanalyze what it is that you do. So that's literally what that is. Who are they? Like,
Yeah.
who are you? And you show them people. The song is on my profile. You guys check it out. But again,
Definitely check it
this
out.
meeting have an awesome one. I'm going to kind of start this time now.
Thank you
You
very
know what I
much,
mean?
boss.
All right,
Thank you
take it
very
easy,
much.
though.
Thank you. I
That's
appreciate
all.
you. Appreciate you,
All,
boss. Love
all day, every
everybody.
day. All right, bye now. All right, so you guys, thank you guys very much for your time. So this spotlight, I hope this was extremely beneficial to you guys. Let me see a couple of thumbs up and emojis. I don't do enough engaging and interacting with you guys on one-to-one level. So I think after this session I have on Saturday, what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to do a couple more. I'm just going to put on the IG live and we're just going to talk. Have you guys come up, ask some questions, and really get a chance to kind of engage and communicate. So Michelle Reels, I appreciate you. Thank you for coming through. DJ Manny K, thank you for coming through. Martin Riri, thank you for coming through. Boy DMX, thank you guys for coming through. I'm going to save this this whole conversation that was had on my IGTV, so you guys can come back, replay it, watch it over a couple of times, and let me know who else would you guys actually like me to bring up on the Learn to Earn series that I do. What topics would you like me to cover? Social media, music licensing, sync deals, live performances, like what would you like it to be? So send me a DM again, and let me know what you guys thought about the conversation, how helpful it was to you. Also slide into D1's DM. Also show your appreciation to him as well for the conversation that we had. Again, we do this so that you guys have the information that you guys can utilize to be successful in the music industry, because I know it's not an easy one to kind of really try to break into this industry. It's work, but I also don't want a situation where we are not successful because of lack of information. Information should never be the reason why you're not able to achieve your greatness, or you're never able to get to the position that you need to get to. So I can give you all the information that is required. The rest that you need to do is to execute on a high level. That's literally all you need to do. And I'll leave on this note. You don't need to do everything that's been said within the video. All you need to do is one thing consistently. Do that one thing consistently, and I guarantee you see the impact that it will have. You know, so I wish you guys nothing but the best. It's Steve Spotlight. I appreciate you guys for always spending your time with me and allowing me to empower and to pour into you guys, because you guys could be anywhere else, but you're here with me. So send me a DM, share this out with a bunch of people, and much love. I appreciate you guys. Have an awesome one, and stay blessed. Stay Spotlight. Since I'm out. Michelle Reels, send me a distant. I'll have a look at. Okay, send me a DM and we'll have that conversation. Okay. Thank you, Aka Centric. I appreciate you, bro. And yes, have an awesome evening, guys. Stay blessed. One.